Hi everyone, what I'm going to talk about now, if you could subscribe to the channel first, that'll be alright, is spotting on hydrophobic glass especially. I mean, you can get spots on any glass, but there's lots of reasons for that. I mean, one, it could be your TDS, which is very unlikely, you know, because apparently you can go up to 0.50 parts per million, right, with your TDS meter, and it won't show spots. I wouldn't like to try it, but this at the moment is running about 6, and it doesn't bother me at all. I've worked up to about 15. I didn't have any issues at all. Other ways you can get spots is from the frames. Okay, it might be particularly dirty and you haven't rinsed properly, that sort of thing. You might have dropped your brush on the ground or touched the wall, things like that, you know, and that'll have dirt on the actual brush. You know, but a lot of us actually lift off, but there's some brushes you don't need to lift off. Some people keep their brush on the glass while they're rinsing, even with when you haven't got a rinse bar at the top here, because the jets are inside. Other reasons might be because you haven't got the flow. That's what I want to talk about. There's a difference between flow and velocity. Velocity is where you switch your system on and it shoots out, but there's not a lot of water there. It's just because of the pressure of the jets. They're perhaps very narrow. The other one is that the flow is the amount of water that you can get out of the jets. Okay. So with this system, I've got it switched on. I'll switch it on a second. With this system, I've got it on very, very low at the moment. Okay, it's just trickling out here like this. Okay, and this could be one of the problems you get. I can get a lot of velocity out of this I want when I turn it up, but it's really about the flow. The more flow you can get on a hydrophobic piece of glass, this is hydrophobic, the better, because you're going to get a good rinse. The other problem, when you haven't got much flow, there's not that much water coming out. This is turned down. I'm going to turn it up in a minute. If you come in closely, you'll see this, hopefully. It's notoriously difficult to film, but do you see how that jet pattern is pushing on the glass, and it's actually pushing the water droplets upwards? They can form faster than you can actually rinse when you haven't got a good flow going. Okay, and this is very, very tedious trying to rinse this with a very low flow. Right, so what I'm going to do is whack it up. That's coming out about 1.5 litres a minute, but what I try to do, okay, that's on full now, so what I'm going to get is close to 4 litres a minute. The difference is tremendous. You can actually hear that on the glass, and you're going to get a much better rinse. Now you might think, especially if you use a backpack, you can use it up really quick, but the difference is I can work faster. You're going to get better results. Plus, I like to angle it downwards on these problem windows. Can you see that flow pattern there? That's actually pushing all the water droplets downwards, and they can't form fast enough again to retain whatever dirt might actually be in there. So don't forget, it's not the glass, it's never going to be the glass, it's going to be something you've done. Okay? So that's why I like a really, really good flow. And there's reasonable velocity there as well. Next thing I want to show you though is why I prefer a rinse bar. Okay? Put this down somewhere appropriate so it doesn't get dirty again. This one happens to be Richard pole with a constructor brush on. I really do like this though. Now this has got a rinse bar at the top here. It's only got 5 jets, but that's 5 jets compared to just the 2 on that. Now the difference that makes is quite substantial, because if you see the pattern here, plus I can leave the brush on the glass and not worry too much. I know you can leave the brush on the glass with just 2 jets, which is internal, which you get inside here, which we've just seen. These go over the top of the brush, and it tends to help a lot when you've got hydrophobic glass. Do it much, much faster Also, if it's that bad a problem, I'll tilt it just like that, keep it off the glass. Because I've got 5 jets now, they're all pointing downwards. You can have more jets as well, you can have 6 if you want, or even more. And that sweeps all the water droplets down off the glass. And that's the main reason why I like the rinse bar at the top. The only problems you can get with that is when you get to the top here, they can actually, if you tilt the pole too much, it will shoot up and touch the tops, the fascias here. Okay, and that can drag down any dirt, so you've got to be a little bit careful with that. Very often what I'll do with that is tilt the brush sideways, and that's why I like the side to side as well, because it makes it really easy. And do it this way, so you don't hit the top with jets, and come down, and a controlled rinse here, the actual glass. Otherwise you're just going to angle it too much and it's going to be all over the top there. And that's where you're going to get your runs from. So anyway, there's an idea for you. You really need to uprate your system if you're finding that you haven't got the flow coming out of it and the pressure to give the glass a good rinse, a good whack. The scrubbing's doesn't matter so much. You need to give it a good scrub, but the rinse is really the key to getting rid of spots on hydrophobic glass. Job done.